why would you want to pretend to be a man? Guys, I know I look different. Today in this video, we're going to be reading Reddit confessions. Enjoy the video. Reddit confessions. My autistic husband thinks a cashier flirted with him and I just let him have his little fantasy. Interesting. Let's get into it. We went grocery shopping today, which in our house is already a high stakes social event. Real, it's a high stakes social event for me too. Hate it. My husband, who's autistic and generally avoids talking to strangers unless it's about his hyperfixation of the month, decided to grace a 20-something cashier with his most charming dad jokes. She looked completely over it at first, which I get because retail is a nightmare, girl. Don't I know it? But then she clocked my husband, awkward smile, painfully obvious attempts at humor, a hopeful gleamer in his eye that screamed, "Please validate me." And honestly, she rose to the occasion. Her energy shifted. She's chatty, laughing at his joke like she's auditioning for a sitcom. Then she hits him with, "You're such a nice and cute guy." Cute. My 40-something husband with his hoodie, Costco sneakers, and that I watch YouTube all night posture. Cute. As we walked out, I said, "Wow, she was flirting with you like crazy because I'm a good wife and sometimes you have to feed the delusion to keep things interesting." He got this smug little smile and muttered, "Yeah, I guess." Like he hasn't already decided he was the main character in a rom-com about a misunderstood grocery store hunk. Let him have his moment. The man gets anxious ordering pizza. If a bored cashier wanted to throw him a compliment out of sheer pity or boredom, I'm not mad. Honestly, I'm impressed she kept a straight face. Anyway, shout out to her for doing what I no longer have the energy to do. Apparently, reading the comments, this story has another post where it's the cashier's perspective, so I might try to find that. Who knows? The confession, harmless, it sounds like. Shout out to the cashier. I currently work retail and I know what it's like to try to pretend like you care about other people all day long, especially when they're being a little bit more chatty than you want to. I understand. I understand. W cashier. So let's move on to another one that sounds like a response already. Okay, let's read it. Okay, watched the full-grown married man embarrass himself at checkout yesterday and had to debrief with the cashier afterward because it was that bad. Interesting. Okay. So the post says, "I'm a bagger at a grocery store, which means I spend most of my day trying to Tetris groceries while pretending not to hear whatever weird nonsense is going down the register. But this time I had front row seats to a truly spectacular moment of secondhand embarrassment. This dude rolls up with his wife, a couple kids, and a cart full of beige food and depression." Damn. Beige food in depression is insane. That's insane. Instantly I noticed awkward vibes. The man is giving underappreciated sitcom husband, but with none of the charm and all of the social awkwardness. He's clearly heavily autistic, which is fine, but that didn't stop him from delivering the worst attempt at flirting I've ever witnessed. He starts trying to be funny with our cashier. Let's call her Jess. I know Jess. Jess has mastered the retail art of fake smiling through existential dread, which she clearly was not expecting to be emotionally roped into whatever midlife fantasy this man was cooking up. And boy, was he cooking based off of the other posts. He launches into some extremely painful dad jokes. She hits him with a couple fake laughs, probably out of pity or sheer boredom. Then, right as I'm bagging a dented box of granola bars, she throws out, "You're such a nice and cute guy." I froze. I nearly dropped the bread. Not the bread. I dropped my croissant. That's what I think of every time somebody says I drop bread. He made me drop my croissant. Well, however it goes, I'll insert it. Somebody's got to know what I'm talking about.
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant.
He turned bright red. Because that's a word. He turned bright red in that awkward shrug smile combo like he was in a teen rom-com and looked back at his wife like, "Did you see that?" Yes, we all saw it, including the broccoli on the conveyor belt. His wife just stared at him like this was her 800th time watching him embarrass himself in public. And instead of saying anything, she goes, "She was totally flirting with you." Honestly, the sarcasm was so smooth, I almost clapped. Hey, maybe the wife's, the wife said she's true to this, not new to this. After they left, I looked at Jess and said, "You good?" She just sighed and went, "I do charity work now, apparently." We laughed about it in the break room later. She said she was one pity compliment away from snapping and asking if he wanted her to sign his forehead so he could tell the guys at work. Sign the forehead is insane, but T. Anyway, if you're a married man trying to flirt with a cashier half your age in front of your wife and kids, maybe don't. Especially when the bagger is standing 2 feet away with perfect hearing and absolutely no mercy. Period. I love it. I love that we found a part 2 to that. That's really hilarious, seeing it from the other perspective, because so anyway, yeah, very hilarious, very funny. I think we need another POV. Like, I think we need Jess's POV. I keep saying POV. Like, I think we need Jess's POV because she was the other important piece to this equation. So I think Jess should step to the podium. It's your turn now. Let your voice be heard, Jess. But no, I think that turned out really funny. I think now seeing that POV and seeing other people, that POV, and seeing other people, like seeing how the wife was, sounds like she's just like going through the motions type of thing, which I don't know if we should feel bad for her, but she's obviously fine dealing with it. This one says, "I pretended to be a guy online for 2 years straight." Why would you want to pretend to be a man? Comment in Reddit asks men using dude speak. Just to see how different the responses would be. The post blew up. People were way more chill, more agreeable, more respectful. It felt like I unlocked a secret code. So what you're telling me is you entered a Reddit post full of yes men. Because depending on what the post was, there's always one disagreement. Now, you didn't say everybody agreed, but you said more agreeable, which means there's not enough conflict for me to think they're not a bunch of yes men. Let's continue. So I kept going for 2 years. I joined subs like politics, gaming, relationship, always as one of the guys. I noticed how differently people treated me. I could say the same exact thing I said on my main account and get completely different reactions. The life of a woman. More upvotes, more support, more engagement. And it really did work. I started getting actual DMs asking for advice. People vented to me. Some even told me they felt like I really got them. Meanwhile, I was sitting there wondering if anyone would take me seriously if they knew I was just some girl in a hoodie eating ramen at 2 a.m. I never catfished anyone romantically. That's good. And I never asked for anything from anyone, but it still feels weird, like I cheated on the system or something. I finally deleted the account last month after someone accused me of being a fake dude, and it freaked me out. Do I feel bad? Yes, but also it taught me a lot about how differently people are treated online based on gender, even when no one sees your face. Do with that what you will. I thought this was gonna be like some crazy outlandish story, but it's actually not that bad. So I take back what I said. Like, why would you want to pretend? Well, no, I don't actually. Scratch that. I don't take that back. It's interesting, but it's almost like a social experiment that you did, if you want to classify it as that, because it really does go to show that women and men are treated so differently. I mean, in this economy, need I say more? I just want to know, I think my only thing for this post is I just want to know what you did to mess up to be considered a fake guy. Like, was it a woman who caught on and said you were a fake guy, or was it like a guy who's like, nah, this is too perfect or something like that, or like there's no flaws, and they're like, nah, you got to be a woman? And if that's the case, that's a compliment to you, because that means you like outdid the code and then did the code too well at that point, right? I would think that that's what that means. But you didn't harm anybody. You actually helped more people than anything. So I'm fine with it. Kudos to you. One of the comments says, "That's honestly fascinating, and it highlights some pretty wild truths about how gender impacts online interactions. It's weird how much people's behavior changes when they assume you're a certain gender. That's also real. It's a little messed up, but also eye-opening. I totally get why you'd feel conflicted, but it sounds like you learned a lot about online dynamics, even if it was through unexpected means. I agree. It just taught you a lot about online dynamics. There's not really one. Let's get into this next one. I've been sleeping with my boss's wife, and he has no idea. Insane already. Let's get into it. My boss is a total nightmare. Arrogant, condescending, treats everyone like garbage. He's the kind of guy who brags about grinding 24/7 while delegating all his work and taking credit for our ideas. Shit boss already. I've put up with his crap for years, but never in a million years did I think I'd end up in this situation. It started at a company party. His wife, let's call her Emily, was there, looking bored out of her mind while he was busy networking. We started talking, and to my surprise, she was funny, smart, and nothing like him. We exchanged numbers under the guise of keeping in touch. A few weeks later, she invited me out for drinks. One thing led to another, and well, let's just say I've been working overtime ever since. It's been 6 months now. He still treats me like crap at work, completely oblivious to the fact that when he stays late at the office, I'm in his house, in his bed. The crazy part, I don't even feel guilty. He doesn't appreciate what he has, and I guess I do. I know this is gonna blow up eventually, but for now, I'm enjoying the ride. Cheating is wrong. Let's start there. Cheating is wrong. And you and the wife are pieces of shit regardless, because if the wife was unhappy and if the guy was truly a piece of shit, just get a divorce. However, I know it's not always that easy to just get a divorce. They might have other things going on that's preventing her from getting a divorce, but still, I can't condone cheating in any circumstances. I don't even condone get backs in any circumstances, but I agree with you. This is all gonna blow up at some point, and if this is a Fortune 500 company per se, or this guy has a lot of money, I think it could blow up even bigger. I think you should be careful, because I've seen this story before, and I've seen how this story can end sometimes. So be very, very careful about what you choose to do and who you're gonna do it with. The wife needs to consider leaving him. Obviously, it sounds like because he doesn't appreciate what he has, she's looking for that in someone else, which is not wrong on her part in retrospect, but it's wrong on her part for not tying up her loose ends before doing that. Like, she should have talked to him, divorced him, or tried to divorce him or whatever to get that out the way, and then go look for somebody who makes her feel more wanted, and then she would be the good person here. But you're cheating. The both of you, especially the wife, because if this guy is as bad as you guys are saying he is, now he may not be bad violently, but it takes one thing to make a person snap officially. So just be careful, because it can go very, 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 very left very quick. So don't cheat, just leave them. Let's see, let's do another one. This is a perfect one to wrap up this video for today. This Reddit post says, I think I ruined my best friend's marriage and I don't feel one bit bad. Ooh. Okay, so I, 28 female, have been best friends with Lisa. I hope Lisa's a fake name. 29 female, since college. We've been through everything together. Bad breakups, job losses, family drama, you name it. So when she got married to Tom, I also hope Tom is a fake name. When she got married to Tom, 32 male, last year, I was genuinely happy for her. Until I wasn't. Tom is one of those guys who puts on a perfect good husband, acts in public, but behind closed doors, total control freak. He'd make little comments about Lisa's weight, suggest what she should wear, guilt trip her for hanging out with me too much. Just a walking red flag factory. Why did she marry this guy then? I tried to ignore it at first because, well, not my relationship, right? But then Lisa started changing. Quieter, always checking her phone like she was scared to miss a text from him, canceling plans last minute. So here's where I might have overstepped. One night, Lisa got drunk at my house, at my place, and she just broke down, saying she felt trapped, like she didn't even recognize herself anymore. I didn't tell her what to do, but I did remind her of who she was before Tom. I pulled up old pics, read her old texts where she used to talk about what she really wanted in life. I didn't sugarcoat anything. I told her straight up that love isn't supposed to feel like walking on eggshells. A week later, she packed her bags and left him. And Tom, he's been blowing up my phone ever since, calling me a home wrecker and saying I brainwashed her. Maybe I did, but if reminding my best friend of her worth is brainwashing, then yeah, I'll own that. So am I actually the villain here? Because I kind of don't think I am.
Good job, Kylie. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Wow, look at...
Any good friend should have done for their best friend being with a man or partner in a situation like that. So I think you did good by her. Tom is obviously, like you said, a control freak. Can I talk today? I can't talk any day. Tom is obviously a control freak and probably has some narcissistic tendencies to go along with that. So I feel like you're just protecting your friend. Of course he's gonna feel like you brainwashed and sabotaged and home wrecked because you were able to break your friend out of the grasp that he has carefully placed on her. And because she actually was able to leave him, now he feels like all of it's been ruined, and obviously he's gonna blame you, when in reality you did nothing wrong. He's been the problem this whole entire time. He is not a good person to be with. He's not a good partner, and obviously by what you reminded Lisa of, it sounded like he wasn't providing her with the life she had imagined for herself. So you did good, and Tom can rot. And the comments are pretty much agreeing, you know, that you're a true friend and things like that. Don't feel bad. It doesn't sound like you do, but don't like feel a sense of doubt or, you know, feeling bad for quote unquote ruining it. I think you did good on your part. So yeah, what a nice way to wrap up this. I thought it was gonna be like some crazy shit, like I cheated on, or like I cheated with my best friend's husband or something like that, but no, that was better. That was really good. I love it. Yeah, I would say you are a good person. Good for you. Wonderful. I am done. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to talk nicer to yourself, and like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Follow me on the social medias and things like that if you feel like it. I can be way cuter over there or something. I don't know. Anyway, talk a little nicer to yourself, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.